Today's post-game show is made possible by our good friends over at Manscaped. Smooth sack summer is here, and if you want to avoid nicks and cuts and flags on and off the field, you got to use Manscaped. Manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys. Dallas loses in the first preseason game, 17-7. The penalties, as we'll get into, were a pretty major issue for this Cowboys team. There was no Will Grier tonight due to injury, but Ben DiNucci, I thought, outplayed Cooper Rush. The ground game was pretty solid, but when you have all of the penalties, things are not going to go well. So, my top 5 takeaways plus some of your thoughts from Super Chats coming in here on today's post-game show. The penalties are back, acknowledging it was the same refereeing crew, at least the head crew, from the Niners playoff game. 17 penalties for 129 yards in this game, 14 for 114 in 3 quarters. That is the most in a preseason game in total since 2019. 10 on offense, 5 on defense, I think one more on special teams. Oh, no, it was 17, so I was right. 10 on offense, 5 on defense, 2 on special teams. That's a huge problem. And perhaps most troubling was that 2 of them were on Tyler Smith, your left guard. The first one, I did not think was a flag. The second one, I will make note, was a bit of an issue. I think it was a flag. The NFL Network Cowboys broadcast was not great. There was a secondary one. Hand was out here. You cannot hold on the outside. That was a problem for Tyler Smith at Tulsa. There were a lot of penalties. Although, we can also say flag on left guard, not really a flag. It's an evergreen comment from last year, too. It was the same issue last year for Dallas. I am concerned that after an entire offseason of discipline, less flags, no more penalties, Dallas came out and was flagged a shit ton. That's a huge problem. And you know what? We can't all blame the refs for that. We have to assign some blame to the team and the coaching staff. If that is not fixed next week, that's a problem. Stop making mistakes. That is a coaching issue. So be honest with me. Are you worried about the penalties? Y for yes, N for no. I'm going to make this question the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Type in Y for yes or N for no at that pinned comment. Next up, the running backs, I thought looked pretty good, not just early. They had thrown a lot more late, so that's why I emphasize early part. But overall, they did not play Zeke Elliott, did not play Tony Pollard for obvious reasons. Malik Davis, Rico Dowdle, and Aaron Shampklin, P in his name, no pronunciation there, the P is silent. I thought all played pretty well. The number one positive takeaway I had from this game were the running backs. They ran it pretty well. Rico Dowdle had 9 carries for 36 yards, an average of 4 in this particular matchup. Malik Davis had 8 carries, 51 yards. Of course, no scores, but he played pretty well overall. He also offered 3 catches for 16 yards. He did miss a pass protection pickup, which was an issue. But Aaron Shampklin, 7 carries, 32 yards. All 3 guys, I thought, ran it pretty well overall for the Dallas Cowboys, as the offensive line was fine blocking on the ground, not so much in the air. They ran a lot of 2 tight end usage. With Gallup banged up, I predict this team is going to lean heavily on the run game early on, which hopefully is better than last year's postseason stretch, or end season stretch, I should say. Today's show is made possible by Manscaped. Get the best men's grooming products over at manscaped.com when you use promo code Cowboys. That includes the Lawnmower 4.0. 20% off and free shipping on all of those products. Links in the comment section and the description. Smooth Sack Summer is here. Don't be caught sleeping. Don't be caught with flags on the field with a bunch of unkempt bush. Use their products. I promise you, nothing is better. Manscaped.com, promo code Cowboys. Let's talk Cooper Rush here. Look, he was rough in that game. There's no way around it. 12 attempts, 20 yards. That is not a good percentage. 84 in total. Now, look, can we blame some of the offensive line? Yes. That interception, and I know there was the miscommunication between Tyler Biadasz and Tyler Smith. It's a bad throw. The issues we have talked about before for Cooper Rush, who's been an every other year guy, it's a down year based on his previous track record, was not good. There was no Will Grier tonight. He was injured. He was banged up. I was very underwhelmed by Cooper Rush. He did not play well in this game. You know who did play well? How about Nucci Maine? The Nooch. Gucci Nucci. Ben DiNucci played really well. The best game I think I've seen out of Ben DiNucci in his NFL career. 9 of 16, 112 yards for 1 TD. Ben DiNucci had a very strong showing in this performance. 112 yards, the only touchdown out of the Dallas Cowboys. Not perfect, but relative to what we've seen from sidearm DiNucci in the past, I thought pretty great. 9 completions, almost double the yards per attempt, touchdown to Simi Fehoko as well. I would have really liked to have seen Will Grier in that game. I really would have. He missed it with a groin injury, but I thought Ben DiNucci actually played pretty well overall. That was a promising sign for the Dallas Cowboys. So of the 3 backup quarterback options, pick one for me. Type in WG for Will Grier, BD for Ben DiNucci, or CR for Cooper Rush. If you had to pick one of those 3 as this team's backup quarterback, let me know who it is in the comments section. All right, the offensive line. They're a bit of an issue as we sit right now. And I know it's mostly the backups, but I thought Josh Ball at left tackle was really bad. McGovern was fine. Outside of the miscommunication and flags between Smith and Biadasz, those guys were fine. Avion Collins did not fare very well. That was a huge problem. The third stringers late in the game, they did not have it either. And I know you weren't playing your key guys, but it makes things really difficult to properly eval the rest of your supporting cast, and especially in those last 2 drives or so when DiNucci was scrambling for his life. The swing tackle position is still a huge red flag for me. And maybe they bring back in Santa that worked out previously, but that was bad. It was not a great offensive line showing. So grade the Cowboys tonight for me. A, B, C, D, or F. It is the preseason. I think we should grade on a curve, but let me know in the comments section. A, B, C, D, or F. All right, super chat time. And to come in, we will answer. Better start for the preseason game, more hype. I assume this is referring to from Super Cammy Dooch. This is referring to Ben DiNucci, which I kind of want to see Will Grier next week. Cooper Rush did not have it tonight. He has that Vikings game in his back pocket. He was not good. I was underwhelmed by the quarterback play. $2 from Jonathan Martinez. Thank you, my friend. Very kind of you. Eric Freeman. Dallas always sucks in the preseason since the current coaching staff. They've been pretty bad overall. This is not a preseason team. Like the Ravens always win. Dallas does not. And coaching staff should get plenty of the blame. Rick Flo. Penalties are my number one concern, but also the backup quarterbacks. Can't wait to see CeeDee Lamb grow more this year. D-line needs to dominate. I thought the interior D-line played pretty well. Some good splash plays from Neville Gallimore, etc. But there were no sacks tonight. It's not great. Although, look, you didn't play Lawrence or Osa or Parsons, so not panicking. But I thought Sam Williams only did bull rushes. Use your bend. Use your moves. I want to see more from him going forward. Backup QB is a concern. I'll say this, though. In the words of, I think it was Tom House, whoever it was, the Colts OC way back when, the quarterback coach, asked, why don't you give Jim Sorgi more reps in practice? Because if we don't have 18, if we don't have 4, we're fucked. And we don't practice fucked. So, yes, but also, what are you going to do? Ecuador man AOG, I think this is our last super as we sit right now. Or no, sorry, 2 more. Who was worse, Joseph or Wright? So make sure you guys are subscribed. We will have some Cowboys winners and losers tomorrow, or I guess depending on when you're watching this later today on Sunday. Make sure to hit that big red button and subscribe. Who was worse? I thought it was Deshaun Wright. He did not play well tonight. Beat too many times. I thought that was a pretty rough showing out of the 3rd-round pick from Oregon State last year. Frank Martinez, just $1.99. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that. The goal entering tonight was $131K. A stretch goal. We're not that far away. We are 70-ish away. I don't know if we'll get there, but if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that big red button and subscribe right here to the Dallas Cowboys Report. Denver beats Dallas 17-7. Final thoughts from your boy here. Disappointing. Not a great showing out of Dallas. I was hoping for more. It is only the preseason. But the penalties, the sloppy play, that was an issue last year. That we were told, we were assured, we were promised it'll be different this year. And it was as bad as I've ever seen it in a preseason game. That's a problem. That cannot happen moving forward. So hopefully things change in the not too distant future. So I get it, but I am a bit concerned from that perspective. Hopefully things change in the near future.